A lot. It's a real difficult one to process. A lot of pride in our group. I thought they spent themselves today. I thought they left it on the floor when we went out on our shield. So I can't falter anything that we did there. We weren't clean. We didn't play well, or exceptionally well, I should say. But that's playoff basketball. You're not always going to be at your best, and you just got to find a way to hang in. And we bent, but we didn't break. Not until the final bell, anyways. And so there's a little bit of melancholy about it at all. Really, I feel like I'm a combination of pride, a lot of love for the guys in the team, and the people on this trip. It's been a difficult 4 weeks. It's been a difficult 7 or 8 months. So just a lot of admiration mixed with enormous disappointment, because it's very, very difficult to put yourself in a position to win championships. And we were lucky enough to put ourselves in a position to at least qualify for a grand final today, but we lost it. We lost our grasp. They were a little too physical, a little too big, a little too long. They made big plays when it was required, and it's disappointing.
Creaky, for you, as Simon sort of mentioned, whether it was fatigue or what did you sort of sense out there? Obviously, you got off to a pretty good start, and then it kind of, without falling too far behind, it felt like it unraveled a little bit, particularly offensively.
Yeah, it's I think as Simon touched on, they made their runs. We came out and our physicality was up how it was game 2, and I feel like we got stops early. We made them make tough plays. We kept them to one shot. We boxed out well. You live with those tough makes, and they didn't make them early on in the first quarter or first quarter and a half, and then they made their run. We knew they're going to do that. They're an amazing offensively talented and gifted team, and when they start really amplifying their defensive intensity and their pressure, they're hard to beat. They're hard to compete against, and props to them. I feel like as the game went on, it was still close. It was still neck and neck. It was tied. We were up a little bit. They made big plays. Some guys hit some big shots and some tough shots, and we missed a few chippy ones. Like we missed some floaters and some layups and some that fell on the ring, and then a few calls didn't really go our way. And yeah, I think we tried to milk a few plays a lot, and we got really good looks game 2, but we didn't finish those in this game. And whether that comes down to execution, tightness, fatigue, whatever, I don't think any of those are excuses. I think they made some big plays at the right times, and I think we missed a couple down the stretch. But tremendously proud of our guys and what we were able to accomplish today, the way we competed, the way we, to every last second. I'm really, really proud of Simon, the coaches, the organisation, and every single one of the boys out there that played their ass off today.
And Simon, I know the outside shooting has been a struggle in this series, not necessarily through the season, but Ruben tonight, I know if you want to talk about individual performances, he seemed to be able to get you a bucket. It felt like when you needed one each time, he stepped up and hit those outside shots.
Yeah, needed to be somebody, didn't it? Like, it's been a bit of a struggle for us the last month with our shooting, and Rubes was due. Like, he's not had a great shooting season by any stretch of the imagination, but he's actually found better form than people probably realise over the last 8 to 10 games. But he's so far back in the field when it comes to efficiencies and percentages before that people forgot that he actually was a pretty crafty offensive player. And he sent a few reminders out there tonight. He's had a tremendous year, Rubes. He's probably one of the most versatile defenders in the NBL. Overlooked, I think. We were talking about it before. There's 4 guys who played less minutes and averaged less points than him last year who are no longer in the league. He's a guy who had to come back from he's a guy who has made amazing strides for us this year, and he's a hell of a basketball player. And what we saw tonight, I'm sure we'll see a lot more of moving forward with Rubes.
Just one more for me, Simon. Thanks to you both for your time this year. But Ryan, in particular, you mentioned after game one that you were sort of carrying him through, and he was carrying some niggles. He certainly looked sore at times. Where was he at now that the sort of it's done? Was he close to healthy? Because obviously, at times he looked like he was labouring.
He's really close to full health, I think. The groin has needed to be managed throughout since he incurred the injury, but I think he's close to full health now. This is we got no excuses. This was the healthiest we've probably been all year. Was today, and it wasn't Rowdy's night. We got a couple of looks, but we didn't get him a lot. They played him pretty tight, and he's going to have he's going to give himself a real good chance of making the Boomers team. He's healthy enough for that, so I wish him well with that. I hope that happens.
Right, Wood, go ahead.
Simon, you mentioned the guys sort of were struggling a bit towards the end there, but what got them going so well at the start? And at the end, was it more like a fatigue thing or just exhaustion from the series? Or what do you think what it was that really ground the guys out at the end there?
I think firstly you got to give credit to Melbourne's pressure. We gave them a nice little slap in the mouth to start the game, but they were composed. They didn't lose their mind. They took it. They were very professional and thorough about the way they just continued to work their way into the game. The way that they just kept throwing bodies at Kiefer, whether it be Sam McDaniel. I thought he was tremendous today, especially in that second half defensively. Then Bubba comes in and Shilly does it. They just keep throwing guys at you, and that's going to fatigue you, especially when you're carrying as heavy a load as what Kiefer's had to carry for us last this series.
Roy, you got any final question?
No, I'm all good. Thanks so much, guys.
Anyone else with anything else to ask? No, we're all good. Thanks, James.
Sorry, one more.
Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Sorry, Tommy. Hey, Simon. Just wanted to get a reflection from you. Second season in the league, to get this group obviously to a really, really good shot tonight of cracking a grand final. Things haven't always gone your way this season. Dane's been out pretty much the whole year. How do you reflect on where this franchise is at, I guess, after such a short period of time, and what you've got to build on looking ahead into next season?
Look, a little disappointed right now to reflect. We believed in our ability to win today and then go on and win a grand final series. And we've talked about this before. Me and Mitch, from the get-go, said that's our goal and we want to do it quickly. So I'm trying to process that because we failed. We were brave. We gave it everything we had, but the disappointment of not being good enough on the day is still something we got to deal with. Ask me next week, mate, and I might say, shit, we were great. We had a great season. We made it within 10 minutes of a grand final series. And there has been a lot of adversity, and we just talked about in the locker room about this special group. I think it's something like 97 games missed through injury. We know what these guys have to go through, and there's been an assortment of issues, obviously being booted out of our home state on 2 occasions for a month at a time. That's unsettling to lose Cam and then bring him back. But, he's kind of a shell of himself for the last, after that 2 weeks on the sideline. And I'm sure his mind was probably in a lot of places as well, knowing that he's got a newborn at home and a wife that needs him. But we're very privileged for him to come back and join our group. But there's just a lot that all the clubs deal with. it's not just us. Everyone's had to deal with their own adversity, and you do that every year. At the start of this year, what we talked about was just being the hardest, toughest sons of bitches you could possibly find, and we're just going to plow through everything that people throw at us and everything people say about us. And we don't care, because all we care about is the people in the room and the people who support us and our families. And we did that the best we could, and we came up short. But onwards and upwards, we'll keep pressing. We'll get better next year.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Just one last thing to all the Southeast Melbourne faithful, families, friends, supporters, people that volunteer for us. Unfortunately, we didn't get games at home this year, but in the final series. But you were here with us every step of the way. What we've had to go through in the last 12 months as a state, to have the support week in, week out, game in, game out, wins and losses, no matter what was going on for any of us at the club or any of us in the team. We thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. You have no idea how much it means. The messages, the tweets, the Instagram DMs, the Facebook messages, the slandering, the articles, everything online, we see them. The support we've had is absolutely incredible. And I know as a group, I can speak on everyone as well as the staff here. Thank you. We'll be back. We'll be better. We'll be back home soon as well to see you all and hopefully say thank you in person. So we appreciate it.
Thanks to everybody, especially our wives and children and families who let us do this for a living. We put a lot of pressure on them by being away from home. So thank you to everybody.